Georgia Gym Dogs are not perfect, but they get better and better with each meet. Stay tuned. All the highlights against Utah are next.
And the Dogs' deed is done.
What can I say? They were the best. They really stood out. They put it all together when it counts, and that's what the sport's all about.
What a routine.
And that just may do it for Georgia here tonight.
Wow.
The Gym Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia.
Hi, I'm Suzanne Yocklin, and welcome to the Gym Dog Show. With me today is Associate Head Coach Jay Clark. We just came off a competition against the University of Utah this weekend, and wow, it really took a lot out of us. Our team was excited about the competition. Utah was ranked number 4 in the country, and we expected a team to come in here and push us, and it to be a close meet, and it wasn't. So for some reason, you know, our team did not perform either. It was a disappointing score. It was a win, though. Definitely a win, and there were some good points. What do you think of the competition?
Well, again, I'll echo your sentiments. I think our team came in with a lot of energy, ready to go, and got off to a pretty good start on vault. But then as the opposition began to wear down and kind of fall off the map, so to speak, our team just really didn't respond in terms of finishing the meet. And maybe it was our first Friday home meet. It's the first time they've had to go to school on the same day, and you know, you don't want to make excuses, but it definitely was a different kind of feel from the get-go, and just the intensity seemed to be lacking. And I don't know whether that had anything to do with the fact that we've gone Florida, LSU, Alabama, and then Utah back-to-back weeks like that, and maybe the energy, maybe it's just hard to get up, you know, emotionally.
I don't know. You know, I mean, I really think the team was up for Utah, but I agree with you. Once the meet and the spread between the two teams got greater and greater, it's almost like our team lost their focus. And you'll see in this first rotation, we start out so strong on vaulting. Let's take a look. Starting out the competition on vaulting for Georgia is Ashley Kupets, Yurchenko half, front pike, and that may be one of the best vaults she's done yet this season. She scores only a 9.875 because she still has a small hop, but it is a small hop. Look at the rise off the horse. Just an absolutely gorgeous vault from Ashley, and that score is about right.
Katie Heenan up next on vault, and Katie's been the most consistent performer we've had all year long. Huge amplitude on a Yurchenko full. Nails that vault. 9.925. That could have gone a little higher. The judges are really tight at this point. It's the first event of the meet. That is just an enormous vault. Slight pike down, but really nothing much to take there. 9.925. A great vault for Katie Heenan.
This is Ashley Postel on bars for Utah. Ashley's a junior from Virginia. She's actually from the same gym as Katie Heenan. Here's her toe-on, toe-off half turn to a really nice high Jaeger. Ashley does beautiful turns, pirouette work on the bars. That pack salto was way above the bar. So far, I don't see any deductions. Great execution from her. She hit all of her handstands. Ashley's definitely one of the top gymnasts in the country. Nice handstand half turn Higgins to immediate double front. What a tough combination. And she scores only a 9.9. That was a beautiful routine.
Courtney Kupets up on vault for us. Same vault that her sister does, and lands it very close to the same way that Ashley did. Slight hop there on the landing. Excellent amplitude and rise off the table. You can see a minor direction problem, just a little bit to the side there, but nothing major to take there. 9.925 is Courtney's score.
This is Christina Basquette. She's a sophomore from Washington State, and she is the reigning NCAA uneven bar champion who tied Courtney Kupets last year. You saw the first skill, her giant full pirouette, was not to handstand. Oh, and well, that was a bad fall. She missed her hands entirely on the bar, sort of caught with her elbows. I'm sure that shook her up a little bit. I don't think I've ever seen her fall.
Tiffany Tolnay back over on vault for us, and Tiffany struggled a little bit this week. Had a little bit of an elbow issue, but so we do a Yurchenko full instead of her trademark 1.5. But it's as big as any vault in the competition on this night. Just a hop on the landing, but otherwise a very well done vault, and she goes 9.9. So we go 49.45 on vault, while Utah goes 49.025 on the bars.
And this is Tiffany Tolnay. She is ranked 4th nationally in the all-around, as she has competed on all 4 events in all but 1 meet this season. You can see beautiful extension. I love Tiffany's handstand work and her body position. You really cannot find a deduction, and to me, she seems to be one of the most underscored gymnasts on our team just because of the way she executes. Beautiful giant full. a right to vertical. I saw no deductions until the dismount. Big step, probably a 10th and a half, 9.825.
And Katie Heenan, as Suzanne mentioned, from the same gym as Ashley Postel, so they're probably competing within the meet. Toe on and off, half pirouette, same as Ashley Postel, to a big Jaeger. Good handstand there. Overshoot to handstand for her second D release. Another toe on and off to handstand. Back up. Katie's handstands are very, very consistent. Getting ready for her dismount. Double front. A little bit of leg separation and a step there, right there at the end, 9.875. Very good bar routine.
This is Christina Basquette again, ranked 5th nationally on vaulting. Yurchenko with a full. Beautiful. That was up there, nice and high. Nice and high. I love the amplitude of this vault. Very explosive. She really sets it, sticks it. 9.9, similar to Katie Heenan. She has a little pike on the landing.
Kelsey Erickson back in for the first time in over a month on the uneven bars, and it's nice to get her back in there. Toe on and off. Big Tkachev for her first release. And she's got a second major release right here, a Pike Jaeger. Very well done. We're just glad to get her back in. It's probably not her best routine that she's done since coming to Georgia, but it's just good to get her back out there and get her feet wet as we get down the stretch going into the championship portion of the season. Pretty good dismount there. She kind of stiff legs the landing. Goes 9.85, but again, a good start to get back out there.
And this is Ashley Postel. She does a front with a half. Wow, that is a hard vault. She does a backward entry and then turns onto the horse, half on, front pike, and then a half turn out. Very, very difficult. Scores a 9.85. You got to take a 1/10 on the step.
Courtney Kupets up on bars, fresh off of her 10 a week earlier from Alabama. Here comes the Hindorf to the overshoot combination. It's important to note that that overshoot right there does not have to go to handstand. A new rule in college gymnastics, that is a C if it doesn't go to handstand, and it's not a deduction if it's a little bit flat. Very good release combination there. The hop full to Tkachev. That's an E to D combination, and then she sticks her dismount right there.
I could have gone a 10. I could have gone a 10 on it.
It was a beautiful routine. So we have a 49.3 on bars. Pretty good score. They go 49.25 on vault, and they're not out of it yet.
The Gym Dog Show is brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.
One look and you'll be captivated. The all-new Honda CR-V. Everything has been redesigned from the exterior to the amenity-rich interior. Indulge your senses with elements like leather, navigation, an updated engine with better power, gas mileage, and cleaner emissions. Drive with confidence. It's also been awarded the top safety pick for its class. The Honda CR-V. It's the SUV you've been craving. Visit Phil Hughes Honda on the Atlanta Highway, Athens.
Makar Homes is proud to announce its 50th anniversary. With passion for quality, Makar is committed to customer satisfaction before, during, and after building your home. With over 40 communities around Atlanta, Makar has a plan and neighborhood for any lifestyle, from affordable townhomes to luxurious estates. For more information, visit www.makarhomes.com. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years.
Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes. And this week's question is, where will the SEC Championships be held this year? And the answer is in Little Rock, Arkansas. And you've got to be there because it's going to be a tight race between the top teams in the SEC. That's Ask Suzanne, brought to you by Makar Homes.
Welcome back. Well, after two events, we've started off very strong on vault, and then we go to bars, and we only had one stuck landing, and really the meat of the routines were very, very good. It's mostly the landings that got us tonight that really just aren't where we need to be, and we've been doing better than that in practice and in training. They're landing their dismounts a whole lot better, but tonight we were definitely off in terms of landing. So we go to beam. We're still on a 197 plus pace at this point, and we head to beam, which has been our savior so far this year in terms of consistency and what are probably our best event.
Yeah, before I talk about beam, just getting back to bars, it just seems like to me that the judges are really hitting dismounts so hard. It's almost like the middle of the routine is just not as important. You are not going to get more than a 985 unless you stick that dismount, no matter what you do in the middle. And sometimes it's just and even on some of the dismounts, sometimes the steps are really small versus the really big steps, and it doesn't seem like there's a big distinction. And that's a little disappointing right now, and a little frustrating, especially since we have 3 forward landings off bars, 3 blind landings. We're having a little harder time sticking those landings than teams that are doing the double layout dismounts. So we got to get back in and work on those landings. But like you said, we're going over to beam. It's a great event for us. We have the same lineup in. This week, Megan Doolin will be competing in place of Nikki Charles. We've been swapping the girls out back and forth between that second position between Nikki and Megan. And, let's see what happens over there. It's a great beam lineup.
Megan Doolin up second. Megan so far this year has scored 2 9.9s and a 9.85 on this event. Good on Nodi, slight balance check there. Her leap series, switch leap to straddle jump, done pretty well. Flight series, flip-flop layout, very nicely done. Solid on the landing. Her other D salto, a front aerial, small little check there. Nothing too major so far in this routine either. She's getting ready for her dismount. So round off, 1.5 twists that she sticks, and she sticks it most every time. 9.85 is Megan's score.
And here's Tiffany, and as I said earlier, to me she seems to be one of the most underscored gymnasts on our team. Her amplitude and execution is just superb. I mean, I love to watch her because she does everything to the utmost in terms of execution. That flip-flop layout, you won't see one better than that. Here's a nice front tuck, and she lands nice and high. No problem on any landings. I have not seen a deduction yet. Now here's her switch leap to her straddle jump, which is her jump combination. Again, great amplitude. She gets ready to dismount, back handspring, double tuck. Nice and high, hop on the dismount, and scores a 9.85. So you can see the judges are really looking at those landings.
Courtney Coupette's on balance beam. She's #1 in the nation on this event. She scored a 9.9 or higher 5 straight meets now on this event. Flip-flop layout for her series, just a tiny little check there on that. Little balance check there on the front aerial. Full turn. She's got a hitch kick to switch side, done very, very well. It's very unique. Switch leap, gainer layout. She is loaded with difficulty, but has a little wobble there on that as well. And then double back that she comes close to sticking, just a little off balance there, 9.9 on the beam.
And over on floor, Christina Basquet battles back from that fall on bars with a beautiful piked full end to start out the routine. Comes back with a 1.5 twist front layout. That's a C with bonus. And her last tumbling pass is a double pike, nice and high. That is a beautiful routine from Christina, and she scores a 9.9. And now we've got Katie Heenan on balance beam. Katie is ranked #4 in the country on this event. Now, she does not have the most bonus on the Georgia team, but look at how light she is on her feet and how fluid she is with all of her movements. She is our anchor on this event because of her consistency. She loves to be in this pressure position where she has to produce at the end, and she always comes through for us right here. There will be many competitions that we have won with Katie having to nail the balance beam at the end. Here's her front tuck to her jump combination. Sometimes she leaves that out, and I really liked it that in this competition she went all out and went for that jump. That gives her 6 tenths in bonus, combination bonus, and total bonus. And you're required to have 5 tenths in bonus. But one of the things that Katie does best of all is sticking her dismount. She is just so good at sticking her landing. I did not see a deduction in this routine. I'm surprised she didn't score higher than a 9.9, which is what she ends up getting. Just a beautiful routine. No deductions at all, solid as a rock, and a score of 9.9. So I guess the judges looked a little bit at the difficulty. After 3 rotations, you can see Georgia's got a great lead, 148.05 to Utah's 146.575.
Hi, I'm Madison, and I'd like to ask Kelsey Eriks a question about how she felt about getting out and performing tonight.
Thank you for the question. It was great to be back out there competing for this amazing gymnastics team. I'm so proud to be a part of the 2007 Gym Dog team.
If you've been injured in a car accident, you need to make the call. Arrowhead, one of the nation's largest accident treatment centers. Arrowhead Clinics will treat your injuries immediately, because if they're not treated now, they could get worse. We'll document your injuries for your insurance company, because without proper documentation, you won't get the money you deserve. So make the call now, because the first thing you need to do is get treatment. It's already been several hours since your accident. Don't delay. Call now, because Arrowhead is the leader.
Drop by drop. A trickle becomes a stream, flowing from the source, refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Welcome back. Well, you know, that was an okay beam performance for this team. It wasn't exceptional. Team seems solid, confident, just not getting enough of those landings. Katie Heenan, once again, you know, our rock on the balance beam. We're moving over to floor exercise. The team feels, the energy seems to be a little bit down right now. I don't know if it's just because we're not getting the 995s and you know, we're not on track for our 198, but if we have a good floor rotation, we can still go mid-197.
Right, and it's a little deflated feeling. The whole arena feels that way, and I think a lot of that has to do with Utah. I think a lot of that has to do with the expectation that the fans had of the competition being tight going into the last rotation, and so it's a little deflated because at this point, Utah has not done well on floor, and they're pretty much out of the meet at this point, and so it makes it a little bit more difficult. But we definitely are seeing something happen because we lost our edge on floor, as we'll see, and let's take a look at those highlights. So we move over to floor, and with a comfortable lead, we make the decision to get Ashley back out there. She's been training, trying to get back in the lineup. So we put Ashley Kupets in the first spot on floor. And you'll see this huge double pike that she opens with, a little out of control in the landing, just stiff legs and bounces, but just enormous amplitude on that double pike. Probably the biggest double pike I've seen this year. Front full, front lay, that's a C to B combination, so she does get a 10th bonus there in the middle. And then finishes with another D, a double tuck that she lands a little bit squatty, a little bit short, but just good to see her getting back out there and getting in the flow of things.
This is Christina Basquette again, one of the 3 all-arounders for Utah. She finishes the meet with 3 good scores after falling on the initial routine on bars. Here's her leap combination. That's a switch leap to a straddle jump, straddle jump. I'm not sure why she would do 2 straddle jumps. Front tuck, look good to me. Everything looks pretty solid. And her dismount is a round off double twist, and she has a little teeny hop That's a pretty good routine. Not a lot of difficulty in it. A little conservative. She scored a 9.825.
Courtney McCool up next for us on floor. Beautiful 2.5 punch front layout. She nails. Goes back in the middle with a double full. And I think I mentioned last week we are intending to upgrade that to a triple full, but it's not a deduction to have it as a C in the middle. And then a front double full. She gets a little squatty, a little crossed up there. That's probably the only deduction. She goes 9.9 for the 4th time in a row.
And here's Katie Heenan. She's ranked #1 nationally on floor exercise. A beautiful front double twist, front tuck. You don't see as many of those as you do some of the other E tumbling passes, but that's a pass that has E and bonus. So it's a hard first tumbling pass. Her middle pass is a front full front half, which is a C plus bonus. Katie has great dance. She finishes with a double pike. A little bit low there. That would have been the only deduction. She scored a 9.875. That was a great routine from Katie.
Nicole Ford over on the bounce beam. She's a senior, and she's sort of the spiritual leader of that team. She is, they call her Queenie. A little bit of a problem there on her wolf 3/4 there. It was not all the way around and had a wobble. A little bit of leg and feet issue on the series. The flip-flop layout. Difficult series, but could be executed a little better. A little low there on the front tuck. See, she's in a little bit of a squat. Nothing too major so far. Goes a split full. And then finishes with a round-off double full that she hops on the landing and goes 9.85. A little high in consideration to the scores that we had.
Yeah, I'd say. And here's Courtney Kupets on the floor exercise, opening with a double Arabian. Knees a little bit apart. You'd have to take a 1/2 tenth deduction on that landing. She has a great awareness for being in bounds. What I love about Courtney's floor routine is, first of all, here you see a leap combination, and you'll see another one later on. So she really pushes the envelope in terms of difficulty. Her middle pass is a front layout to a Rudy, so you're seeing forward twisting. A big variety of tumbling. You do not see a lot of gymnasts with this kind of a variety. In everything that she does, she hits all different positions. This is some choreography from last year's routine that we carried over to this year. And I love this routine. It's so Courtney. She loves this sort of techno kind of stuff. And here's another dance combination you can see here with a cat leap in the double position, and she gets it all the way around beautifully. And now she's getting ready for her last pass, which is a double pike. And Courtney is really coming on strong right now. She's had a great meet on the other 3 events with her best vault so far of the season, and a great bar routine again, and a good beam routine. And now over on floor, if she finishes strong, she'll end up with a very high all-around total. And there you see it. Courtney finishes all 4 events for only the 2nd time this season and really looks good. And she will just only get better. She finishes that routine with a score of 9.9, so they did take a deduction on that first pass. So you see the final score for Georgia, a 196.85, because we did have to count a fall on floor exercise from Grace Taylor. And Utah scoring only a 195.475. Routine of the Week brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center, and this week's Routine of the Week is Kelsey Erickson, who competes back in the bar lineup after 4 weeks of missing competition due to an injury to her foot. That is Routine of the Week brought to you by Athens Regional Medical Center.
I'm sorry, honey. I know it hurts. Oh, x-rays, they don't hurt at all. It's like a magic eye that looks inside of your body to see if anything's broken. This is where Hannah came to get her stitches out last year, remember? Of course, honey. Mommy will be with you the whole time. And remember, Mommy wouldn't take you here if it wasn't the best place in the whole world.
Athens Regional Medical Center, a passion for medical excellence.
Drop by drop. Pure, refreshing. A trickle becomes a stream. Flowing from the source. Refreshing, fresh, in the store or at your door. Millwood Springs.
Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Melwood Springs. And as you can see, we've gone to RQS, and Florida holds on to the top spot by 3.5 1/100ths of a point over us. Stanford, Alabama, and Utah round out the top 5, with LSU jumping back in to represent the SEC in the 9th spot. And that's Countdown to the NC2As brought to you by Melwood Springs. Well, there it is, another missed opportunity. We had an opportunity really to get a big score and put ourselves in a position to move back into the #1 ranking, and we blew it, to be perfectly honest with you. Some good things happened, though, Suzanne. Ashley getting back out there on floor exercise, that's a good sign as we get deeper into the season that we're able to get her back out there.
Right.
Courtney McCool is really beginning to show some consistency on the floor exercise. Right. So there's some bright spots that you want to find, but we definitely need to get back in the gym and correct some of the mistakes. And as you say, some of the mistakes that were made are things that we see sometimes in the gym.
Right, and you know, how you practice is how you're going to compete. I was definitely disappointed, especially with Grace, because she just has been doing such a good job with us. But, you know, she's a freshman. She needs to have one bad meet, so let's hope this was it, and she'll get back on track. It was great to have Courtney Kupets in the lineup again, you know, on floor, getting better and better every week. She had a great competition all around. You know, she is just so mentally tough, and she is the one gymnast on this team, and Katie Heenan, too, who they were going after a solid meet, regardless of what Utah was doing. They kept their focus all the way, and both of those girls had great competitions, great performances on all 4 events, and, you know, they are really the leaders on the team right now, and we just got to get back into the gym and keep working. You know, we have a tough meet coming up this weekend against Auburn, another SEC team, another home meet. So, you know, not a lot of days to rest. Just got to get right back out there, and hopefully next Friday we'll have a big meet against Auburn. We'll see you next week with the results from that competition.
The Gym Dog Show has been brought to you by Melwood Springs. Melwood Springs from the Blue Ridge Mountains of North Georgia. By Makar Homes. Makar Homes, built with passion for over 50 years. Brown Arrowhead Clinic. Arrowhead Clinic, Georgia's largest spinal health care organization. By Athens Regional Medical Center. At Athens Regional, we have a specialty. You. By the John Bull Stores of the Bahamas. John Bull, the shopping mecca of the Caribbean. And by Phil Hughes Honda. Phil Hughes Honda, the official car dealer of the Georgia Gym Dogs.